everyone, thanks for joining me, your Sports Pilot Jim on another exciting edition of Sport Vibe on DNT, where we'll bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sports every Tuesday. This week won't be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll be starting from the news that we all know in the world of boxing, as Daniel Dubois was able to defeat Anthony Joshua in the fifth round of a fight that took place in the Wembley Stadium. It was a devastating defeat for Anthony Joshua, but a great one for Daniel Dubois, as he was able to retain his title in the IBF World Heavyweight title. It was a great one for him, defeating Anthony Joshua in the fifth round with an emphatic knockout and a punch at the face for Anthony Joshua, who couldn't stand up after receiving that punch. It's a great one for the British international, have been able to defeat his compatriot and a two-time world heavyweight champion in the world of boxing. And also in the world of Formula One, we witnessed an exciting race at the Singapore Grand Prix during the weekend, where we saw the McLaren driver winning the Singapore Grand Prix at the Formula One race. It's an interesting one and a back-to-back victory for McLaren, as their driver in the person of Lando Norris was able to win the Singapore Grand Prix. Max Verstappen could only finish second position at the Singapore Grand Prix, where another McLaren driver, we'll talk about Oscar Piastri, who was able to win at the Sebring Grand Prix, finishing third position this time around at the Singapore Grand Prix. It's a good news for the McLaren team, as they have cemented their position as the Constructors' Championship standing this season with 31 points ahead of the Red Bull. It's going to be an interesting one to watch between these two, as we all know that this is the 18th race in the Formula One out of the available 24, and the next one would be the United States Grand Prix. Will Max Verstappen be able to bounce back, or will we be seeing the Red Bull bounce back in their 19th race that will be taking place in the US Open next month after the break? Is an interesting one. Also talking about the Formula One race that took place in Singapore, as Lewis Hamilton was able to make his 350th race in the world of Formula One. It was not the outing he was hoping for. Starting the race from the third position, he could only finish at the sixth position for the Mercedes driver. We talk about Lewis Hamilton, one of the greats in the world of Formula One. A sad one for him, but you can take nothing away from him, as he has been able to write his name in gold at the Singapore Grand Prix, also making his 350 race in the world of Formula One, and he remains the most successful driver in the world of Formula One. But quickly, let's switch our attention to the world of football, where we talk about an interesting one. Barcelona have been able to get back to their winning ways after suffering their first defeat under Hansi Flick in the Champions League match, where they were defeated by Monaco. It was a great one after they were able to bounce back to defeat Villarreal during the weekend 5-1 in the La Liga. As things stands right now, they are occupying the top position at the La Liga table, notwithstanding being able to win 6 matches from the available 6 that they have played. They are ahead of Real Madrid, who follow closely with 14 points at the La Liga table. Is an interesting one also for you to know that their player in the person of Robert Lewandowski is the highest goal scorer in the La Liga right now, and the player with the most assists in the La Liga is the young talent Lamine Yamal, being able to provide some assists for Barcelona And when you talk about goals scored in the La Liga, Lewandowski has scored 6 goals and he is the highest goal scorer in the La Liga as things stands currently. And also in the world of football, let's travel down to the Serie A where we'll talk about the Milan debut that took place during the weekend, and we saw AC Milan for the first time defeating Inter Milan since the year 2022. It's an emphatic one for them being able to defeat their rival Inter Milan at the San Siro Stadium 2-1 during the weekend. Is an interesting one as Christian Pulisic continues with his incredible form with AC Milan. And you will remember that AC Milan suffered a defeat to Liverpool at the Champions League night, where Liverpool were able to defeat them 3-1, though AC Milan were the team that scored first in that encounter. But right now they are back to their winning ways, defeating their rival Inter Milan in the Serie A. And also talking about the Serie A, we talk about Napoli and Juventus being able to play a goalless draw during the weekend, and this means that Torino is the team at the top of the Serie A table. After just 5 matches, they have been able to secure 11 points in the Serie A, and they are yet to be defeated in the Serie A this season. They are followed closely by Napoli, who is sitting second position in the Serie A right now. Quite an interesting one in the Serie A for team like Torino sitting at the top of the Serie A table. But quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue right from where we stopped. Welcome back, and we are still talking football, continuing from where we stopped. Liverpool are also back to their winning ways. Remember, they were able to face AC Milan in the Champions League nights, where they were able to defeat AC Milan 3-1, and in the Premier League they are back to their winning ways after defeating Bournemouth during the weekend. Is an interesting one as we saw Luis Diaz continue with his incredible form under Ancelotti, and the Liverpool side are back to their winning ways, sitting second in the Premier League right now behind the defending champion Manchester City. And you talk about Manchester City, who were able to play a draw with Arsenal during the weekend. It was a 2-0 draw between these two in the Premier League, as Arsenal were hoping to defeat the league champion for the first time since the year 2015 in the Premier League. It was a great 2-1 as we saw at the latter stage that Stones was able to salvage a draw for the league leaders in the Premier League. And also in that particular match, we saw Erling Haaland scoring his 100th goal for Manchester City after just being able to play for Manchester City in 105 matches. Erling Haaland, a goal machine in the Premier League right now. He has scored 10 goals already just after playing 5 matches in the Premier League. Erling Haaland is outstanding, scoring 100 goals for Manchester City. The last person that was able to score 100 goals for Manchester City as a striker was Sergio Aguero, and he was only able to achieve that feat after playing 158 matches for Manchester City. But Erling Haaland, just after 105 matches for Manchester City, he has scored a century of goals for Manchester City. Take nothing away from the 24-year-old striker that is doing well in the world of football right now. And also still in the Premier League, we talk about Arsenal Football Club. Yes, they were able to play a draw against Manchester City during the weekend, and they are sitting in the 4th position in the Premier League right now. Should Mikel Arteta caution his players on the way they are picking up red cards unnecessarily in the Premier League. Remember, before now, Declan Rice was able to pick up a red card, and that in that particular match against Manchester City, we saw Leandro Trossard picking up a silly yellow card that led to a red card for Arsenal Football Club. Should he start cautioning his players as they are beginning to get the red cards in the Premier League this season? I'm talking about another match during the weekend. We can't fail to talk about Chelsea, who looks to be behind Arsenal at the Premier League table right now. They are in the 5th position in the Premier League, having 10 points after playing 5 matches in the Premier League. And for the record purpose, something that would interest Chelsea fans to hear is that behind Manchester City, Chelsea are the only club to have scored 10 goals. Manchester City has scored 13 goals after 5 matches in the Premier League already. Chelsea being able to defeat West Ham in the Premier League at home at the London derby was an interesting one to watch for Chelsea fans. And also you would know that Nicholas Jackson, making his 50th appearance for Chelsea, was able to score his 21 goal for Chelsea Football Club. An interesting one for the young striker also that has gotten so many critics from the world of football, and particularly another devastating one for Manchester United as they are out of the top 10 in the Premier League this season. Remember, they were wasteful against Crystal Palace during the weekend after playing a goalless draw against Crystal Palace. Remember, before that match, they were able to win the League One side in the Carabao Cup 7-0, and but coming into the Premier League match against Crystal Palace, where they have not won their match since the year 2022, also at the stadium of Crystal Palace. Now they have suffered a goalless draw in that match, and right now they sit at the 11th position in the Premier League. What should Ten Hag do to that team? They need to begin to find the back of the net in the Premier League if they have a chance to proceed and probably finish as the top 4 this season in the Premier League. Remember, they will be played in the Europa League tomorrow, where they'll be taking on 20. Will Manchester United be able to bounce back at the Europa League before they'll be facing Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League? This is the length at which we'll be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNT Walk. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles as DNT Walk. Enjoy your week, stay safe, remain blessed. Thank you.